Hey there everyone, CPO here, and in this video I'm going to finish up that install of the Team Tech Offroad Swaybar system, the disconnect system, and I'm going to tie it into my S-Tech switch system. So what I need to do now is add some ARB plumbing and run the ARB airline and then attach that ARB solenoid so that I can use my switch to activate the disconnect, and boom, there we go. So Swaybar disconnect, finish install right now. All right, as with most of my videos, they're never as easy as I would like them to be because I've got to figure some things out. I have this still loose from when I installed the S-Tech switch system, so I'll have to find a final resting place for that. In the meantime, I've got my ARB solenoids for my front and rear lockers, and I've got this hose fitting for airing up and down. And what I want to do is add a third ARB solenoid for the Swaybar disconnect. So I need to look at this and figure out what I need to do. And honestly, I have no idea. Here's what I do know. I have parts, and in particular, one of these parts is an ARB Tee Fitting, which should allow me to add an additional port, basically. So I've got two solenoids coming off. I'm gonna replace one of them maybe with this, and then I'll have a place to add two solenoids into one hole. Or maybe I'll add a solenoid into here, this pressure switch. I don't know, I have to look at it. So let me figure that out and I'll tell you what I come up with. All right, here's what I came up with. I have the wrong size Tee fitting. Crap, back to the drawing board. So I was thinking this looked a little bit big, and it is because, yeah, so what the hey. All right, welcome back, guys. So I went and hit the interwebs looking for a 1/8 inch BSP adapter for this, and even went to ARB's website, looked at their fitting product lineup. They don't have one, and I was like, what am I missing? What am I doing wrong here? So anyway, I called ARB USA, talked to tech support, super nice dude on the phone, wish I could remember his name. But anyway, huge shout out, ARB, top-notch customer support. And he's like, what? We don't really sell one of those. Basically, I think I can go get one from somewhere else, but he said you can extend with a manifold and then add multiple off of a new manifold. And he said, or if you want to do a more expensive route, we do sell new solenoids that have a pass-through. Basically, they can be daisy chained, and you can use, you can just stack solenoids and then add as many as you need to on there, and they all have their own switching. And I'm like, well, wait a second. So I went and grabbed the solenoid I already have, talked to him on the phone about it a little bit, and lo and behold, I have one of the new daisy chainable solenoids. I was like, can I just use this and then attach one of my existing solenoids onto it? And he's like, yeah, why not? Why wouldn't that work? So let me tell you the model number of this solenoid, just so if this does work, you have the information. It's this one right here. So as you can see here, it's got a 2 and 2 1s. And basically these 1s are your inputs. So I'm gonna plug this into the manifold, but this one is basically just got a cap on it and it'll pass through. I need an Allen wrench to open that up, screw the other one from the other one into that. It will allow air to flow through to the second solenoid. And basically, if you buy these, you can daisy chain and stack them. But I only need one because I can use it to plug in directly to the manifold and then daisy chain the second normal one off of it. So super huge bonus. So I don't need that Tee fitting after all. And this should be a much more compact design. So anyway, let's see if it works. First thing I want to do is depressurize this system a little bit. What I think I'm going to do is plug that bad boy in right here, daisy chain this one off of it, and it should work. It should work great. This one here is a little tight because of this coupler, the way I have it. So yeah, I'm gonna do this one. So if you don't know how to release these, you can pull this plastic out and it should release your air hose. There we go. So now I'm gonna disconnect that. This is the front locker, by the way. I don't have them labeled, but I can look and see where they run. So, all right, I'm basically loosening up this manifold. These are just 10mm bolts. There's these little bracket bolts, and then there's this bolt that actually holds the manifold together. Like that. So it's got a little O-ring on it on the outside. Don't lose that O-ring. And then there's little O-rings in here. So basically with this off, I can better get to this guy here. Okay. All right, so with that off, I'm gonna go ahead and take this one off too and re-pipe thread it. I use a Teflon and use the paste. The tape doesn't work as well in this. It doesn't seal as well. I need to knead this up a little bit. All right, that is in place. Let me undo that there. Okay, that's ready. Now, taking this out. I tend to overdo this Teflon paste, but I want a leak-proof seal. I think like that is how that's going to go. With my line coming off here, shooting out that way. So removing the plug. Crap. It's always good to keep a magnetic tool grabber around for when you drop stuff. Except it's not magnetic. It's always good to have a claw grabber around when the magnetic one doesn't work. Oh my gosh, why does this always have to be so hard? Okay, back at it. All right, now that I've got that done, I can screw this daisy chained into here. Look at that. Yeah. Trying to line things a little bit here. Okay, so now I have 3 things coming off of here. My 2 existing, and then this one is the new one for the Swaybar. Make sure my O-ring is still in there, and it is. So that's gonna go like that. O-ring still on this one. That one's loose. These other 2 get threaded in the bracket. I'm super excited that I accidentally bought the new solenoid that can be daisy chained. Total bonus. The wrong Tee fitting, well, that was a small price to pay for a lesson learned that I can now share with you. I want to get this adjusted where I want it. I think I may have it tilted up a small amount. No, I think I'll leave it level where I had it before. I think that'll be fine. So looks like right about there. Okay. Now I need to plug these guys back in. My locker hose. And then the last thing I need to do is add this. I know it has an O-ring. I'm going to put a little sealant on it anyway. So this, basically now I'm going to tap into the switch for the Swaybar. But before I do that, let me go ahead and just pressure up the system to make sure that it holds pressure before I get too far. All right, key to the on position, compressor on. Okay, it seemed like it pressurized. Now the question is, does it leak? And the only way to know that is to leave it and see if it has to repressurize. So I'm gonna let this sit for probably 15 or so minutes, and I'm gonna make you watch the entire time. No, not really. I'm going to come back and let you know if it leaked or not. All right, so that thing's been going for over 15 minutes and has not repressurized, so that's a good thing. So now what I'm gonna do is wire up to the switch. Now, I don't have a female side of the connector for this that's like what I have on the harness, but these are just spade connectors, so they're female, so I do have male spades that will plug in there nicely. So I need one to go to ground, which is going to be, let me look at how the other one is. The stem of the T in this connector is the ground. And then this one is going to be getting the feed from the switch, which in this case is my orange wire. So I actually had some leftover wire from a different project that I'm going to cut and use for my thing. And then I have a ground that I'm going to be able to use right here. So I'm just going to run that just like that. So let's make that happen. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add that into here. And just like before, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can watch the video before this where I wired in the S-Tech switch system. I'm going to seal this with a little liquid electrical tape. Perfect. Nice. Having a nice crimper does help tremendously. All right, sealed that. I'm just gonna leave that alone and let it dry. And then I'm gonna work over here on this ground. I like to hit those twice, I don't know why. All right, there's that. Seal the end of this. Hopefully you can see what I have going on here. I have my wire out of the switch that's going to trigger and my ground. And then now I need to do is, while these are drying, I will cut my air line and add that into the quick fitting. All right, here's air line I have left over from my locker install. All right, so this is the TeamTech Offroad pneumatic adapter for the Rubicon factory sway bar. I did have to add in that ARB push fitting. So same way as before, use the Teflon thread sealant and just cut the air line with a sharp razor. Nice sharp cut. Pushes in, locks in. I'll show you that on the upper side when I get to that. And where I have it run is just up in through here. I haven't zip tied it or anything yet, but I'm going to run it around and then it's going to plug in right here. Yeah, let me finish this process, then I'll test it real quick. All right, so I'm okay with a little bit of extra right now. Just a nice sharp cut. It's going to go into the push fitting. And then you just want to make sure you don't have too much of a radical bend. And what I'll do is zip tie this right here. That should run along the inside of the hood fine. Yeah, and I'll just secure it along here. For now, we'll see. I may decide to run it through there, but let me test things first. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug that into the positive, that into the ground. And let's see if it works. So sway bar disconnect has been engaged. Yeah, man, that's working. So yeah, what I need to do now is test the actual sway bar. And probably the best way for me to do that, since I'm not all super flexy right now, is just pop this off. All right. Oh, look at that. I'm gonna go turn off that sway bar. Okay. It should now reconnect when it gets level. Oh, and it reconnected. Oh, I'm loving this. All right, guys, it's working awesome. Super stoked. So I did get it all sort of put back together. I don't know if I like this line running right here or not. Although I like it because I can keep a good eye on it. I can see it and it's secured, not rubbing against anything. It's not as pretty. But anyway, that is the install of the TeamTech Offroad Rubicon Swaybar actuator using the complete Rubicon replacement set that I got from them, and also integrated with the S-Tech switch system using the ARB air compressor to disconnect the swaybar. So yeah, super happy. I will say, you know, having not had a Rubicon previously, I've never had the ability to just disconnect with the push of a button. I know you Rubicon guys are spoiled. You can do that, but you can do that only on limited circumstances. Now, that may not matter to anybody, but It's cool to me. Anyway, that's it, guys. I just wanted to say thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for following me. If you are, thanks for subscribing. If you are, if you're not, why aren't you? Till the next time, I'll catch you on the next one.